Well, as always, Mondays are the most boring days starting the week. But however, if you guys are big fans of the Yoshi wrestling scene, you're in luck. I'm going to keep your Mondays fun and exciting. So for today, we're going to be doing two reviews based on it. The first one is from Oz Academy with the recent Angels of the Abyss, but this time in Osaka that took place on the 23rd, which was yesterday. And then, of course, we have the latest Stardom with Path of Thunder that took place. It features, of course, the stipulation. The stakes are high. Will Tam Nakano defeat Hate and keep Kurara, or will Kurara, in fact, of course, will be part of Hate? That is a good question. We do have the future belt on the line, the Goddesses tag team belts, and, of course, the white belt on the line. And then we cap up our episode with some news updates to give you guys updated on what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world, pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on our subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all pleasantries has been needed said. I believe it's time to bring the noise. So let's begin with our first review, and this is from Oz Academy with Angel of the Abyss at Osaka. Okay, Oz Academy, as we continue with more Angels of the Abyss at Osaka. Now, I did review one already recently, not too long ago. I think it's out there somewhere, but yes. So this took place recently this past Sunday, which is a very interesting event. Now, of course, in the opening of the show, the announcer gave the pleasantries and all that other stuff, but the founder herself, Mayumi Ozaki, came out. However, instead of her in her wrestling gear, she was dressed up in just normal attire, like looked like sweatpants, a shirt, and whatever. But instead of going to the back, she was sitting behind the table. I don't know exactly if she was producing the show. Who knows? But yeah. But however, it seems that there is a new faction that came around to do the little promo. It seems like it's consistent of Ryo Mizunami and of course Sonoko Kato, better known as H2D, along with Itsuki Aoki and Momoka Anazono. So I don't know exactly what's going on. I'm not sure if there's a new faction being formed. So that's a very good, clear question. But we'll see what happens. Now, our first match we have, of course, tag team act. No, three-way match. We have Honoka from Wave versus Momoka Anazono versus Kakeru. Now, however, when it comes to Kakeru, you know that Ifrin cop shows up every single time to help out. I mean, sometimes I wish I was there to give him an ass whooping of a lifetime. But however, of course he was gonna get trying to help, but unfortunately this match went into a different type of situation. Now, if you guys ever seen Kakeru, she always bring that little warning sign, the one that they use in the bathroom or when they're cleaning the floors and they tell you, be careful, it's slippery. Well, she always brings it. Now, Honoka was intending to use that on Kakeru while Momokana Zono will hold her, but apparently she missed Kakeru move out of the way, but that allowed for, of course, Kakeru to apply the Maestral while Cap was holding down Honoka, and just like that, Kakeru win the match, even though that idiot Cap got in the way. Someone should have just dealt with him. But yep, Kakeru just won the match in that fashion. Now, our next match, well, you have a somewhat version of the Rebel X enemy, consistent of Maika Ozaki. No, she's not related to Mayumi Ozaki, in case anybody asks. And Ram Kaicho. They take on Kohaku from Wave and Tsubasa Kurigaki. Now, nothing too special about this match in any way possible, but however, there are some dynamics. I don't know how often Kohaku has teamed up with Kurigaki when she's been appearing in Oz Academy, but I do know that Maika Ozaki and Ram Kaicho, they do have a good cohesion since they were part of that since they were part of the faction known as Rebel X Enemy. But it was, of course, Maika Ozaki with a muscle buster onto Kohaku, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Our next match, we have Sayuri Anu taking on Kaori Yoneyama. Now, this match kind of started in a very interesting manner. The referee declared Sayori as the winner, but later they kept on going and going. Now, remember, Kaori Yoneyama is an expert high speedster, so I don't know exactly how Sayuri Anu would pick it up, but however, this match ended with Sayuri Anu applying the pottering, and just like that, uno, dos, tres, it was over. Our next match, for all you Unagi Sayaka fans out there, yep, this is her match against Akino. Now, what's interesting about this match is this. Those who don't know this, Akino and Unagi somehow got into somewhat forming a group when Unagi failed to enter to be part of Ozaki-gun, and they just built up a bit of a friendship. I don't know exactly where this led, and of course, there was a moment where Unagi was not happy with Ryo Mizunami and Kato actually lost the tag belts. I don't know exactly. Akino even helped Sayuri Anu, but the match itself was pretty good. Not to mention, many of you Unagi Sayaka fans out there would have presumed she was going to win this match. Well, I would have agreed too, but unfortunately, this match ended with her doing a victory roll and Akino won. Now, I don't know exactly what Aquino said to her during the post match, but it seems like it was pretty good. Even Sayuri Anu showed up. Now, I don't know for sure if Aquino is planning to form a brand new faction. So that looks like it may be heading that way, but we will see where that goes from there. I don't know what Unagi would think about joining this faction, but we'll see. Now, our main event, we have Zones, Rina Yamashita, and Lady Destroyer Hiroyo Matsumoto taking on Izuki Aoki, Sonoko Kato, and Ryumi Zanami. Now, there are some interesting power hitters in this match. I mean, you look at, of course, Zones and Hiroyo Matsumoto, they have been a very excellent team. And not to mention Rina Yamashita, well, we all know where she is. But however, this match ended with Lady Destroyer applying an Uranagi onto Kato, and just like that, one, two, three, it was over. And then, of course, the victors gave themselves a promo. Don't know what they said, but I'm sure they probably will be doing more team ups down in the future. But we will see what happens with these three ladies. But as of right now, we are officially done with Oz Academy. Let's do our last review, and this is from Stardom's much recent event, Path of Thunder. Okay, Stardom, this is their much recent event, Path of Thunder at Utsunomiya. I don't know the name of the venue, but however, it begins with the rookie Yuria Him taking on Maya Iwatani. Now, it doesn't take a genius for anybody to understand that, of course, Mayu was going to win. She's the icon. But the other factor is Yuria Him. She is still a rookie. She still has least experience in this entire old deal. So you ask yourself how this match was going to go. Well, Mayu applied the standing Dragon Sleeper, and just like that, it was over. Now, I don't know what Mayu said to her he, uh, to him after winning, but it seems that she gave her some high praises. But I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to recruit her to be part of Stars, but anything is a possibility. But we'll see. Our next match, we have God's Eye, consistent of Rana Yagami, Tomoka Inaba, Lady C, and Saki Kashima, taking on the Cosmic Angels, Aya Sakura, Yuna Mizumori, and Sayuri Anu, and Natsupoi. So this is where most of the members will be involved, but I'm sure they will all be serving as seconds in the later match. But nothing too special about this match. I know Yuna Mizumori intends to bounce back and hopes to return to winning the um, this high speed belt, which is something she has come clear of a goal that she wants. But unfortunately, that goal kind of ended up in a big boot on her face, all thanks to Lady C picking up another good win for her team. So, as you know, she's building momentum for her upcoming artist match against her former teammate Azumi, and of course Miyu Amasaki. So she picked up a very fantastic win. Now, speaking of Azumi, Azumi was involved in a four-way match featuring Fukigen Death, Akira Korogani, and Wako Tsukiyama. Now, of course, we all know how this was going to go. Of course, Fukigen Death was going to get someone involved to do Death, Death, Fukigen Death. Well, she did that with Kurogani, and it kind of backfired on her. But however, it was Azumi who picked up the win when she applied the Azumi Sushi onto Kurogani, and just like that, uno, dos, tres, it was over. Our next match, we have the members of Hate, consistent of Raka, Tekla, Momo Watanabe, and versus the EXV's Rian, Hanako, Maika versus star members Momo Koko, Koguma, and Azuki. Now, of course, when it comes to three ways like this, anything is a possibility how it's going to end. Now, don't forget, Hate are the masters of using dirty tactics to ensure that the matches will go in their favor. That's always been who they were, and that's always bad. But however, this time it was Micah who was able to pick up the win against her former teammate Tekla when she applied the Michinoku driver after she got whacked by Momo Watanabe by accident with her baseball bat. That gave time for Micah to apply the Michinoku driver, and then one, two, three, it was over. But once again, Tekla decides to pick a fight with the president, Taru Okada. She's always picking a fight, and I don't know how much she can take because she keeps getting herself suspended and fined. Now, speaking of more of Hate, we have the members of Azusa Inaba and Konami taking on God's Eye members Kyoko Katsu and Shuri. Now, remember, this whole thing began when Konami betrayed Shuri last year to join Natsuko Tora's newly formed faction, Hate, And that kind of plays out but for a while Shuri's been looking for ways to get revenge against her, and they end up in a tag match. Now, of course, when it comes to hate, I keep saying they use dirty tactics in order to do that. But today, it was Konami who walked away with the win when she applied the triangle lancer on Kotatsu. And just like that, Kotatsu had no choice but to tap. But I'm sure this feud between Konami and Shuri is far, far from over. So we will see where that leads us. Now, our next match, this is a match that I'm sure many of you were nervous about. Cosmic Angels members, Sayaka Kurara and Tam Nakano versus Hate, consistent of Natsuko Tora and Saya Kamitani. Now, let's talk about the history. Those who know this, Tam Nakano used to be a teacher to Saya Kamitani all those years ago until she made the choice to jump to Queen's Quest. And then, of course, they've been going back and forth. In those who remember history, it was Kamitani who defeated Tam for the white belt back in 20 by the end of 2021 in Dream Queendom, and just like that. However, Kamitani blamed the entire her 2024 or 2023 ordeal when she ended up injured, hurting her elbow, and unsuccessful to wrestle for of course the 5-star Grand Prix. So that kind of played out in every way, and then she blamed Tam Nakano for that until she turned her back on Micah to ensure the red belt goes to Natsuko Tora. And now she intends to destroy Tam any means necessary. First she defeated her for the red belt, and then there's that. And now she wants to take. Tam decided to ask for another rematch, but Kamitani decided to go in a different route, saying, "I'll put you in a tag match, but if I win, I take Kurara with me." And Kurara has been put in the middle of this. This is something that she did not ask, but Kapitani has been telling people, "Hey, Kurara doesn't like how she's been kissing her." But of course, Kurara said that she's been exhausted, that there was no time to kiss her back. So she's been obsessed to take everything from Tam, and this was that moment. However, throughout the entirety of this match, there were two instances where Kurara messed up, kind of was intending to spear Kamitani, but ended up sparing Tam, the missile drop kick. But however, there was a moment where Kamitani was telling her, "Come on, spear her," but she ended up speared herself, and then Kurara went on to the beast. Now, I failed to mention this. Kurara told Tam to trust her, and that's what happened. People were suspicious that Tam was going to lose this match, but she was able to win with the violet screwdriver, and just like that, it was over. However, during the post match, this is exactly what happened after it. Now, this is what Kamitani, I was able to get a bit of a transcript on the post match promo for all. Even let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, here it is. This is what she said. She wants a no time limit for her lose loser leaves match against Tam. I couldn't take Kurara away, but I don't care anymore. Tam Nakano, I'm gonna drag you to the depths of hell. That feeling hasn't changed. This will work out perfectly. Goodbye forever. Tam Nakano responded, I won't let you lay a hand on Kurara or the Cosmic Angels ever again. To stop your twisted love, this is the only way left. March 3rd, Cork and Hall. Loser leaves Stardom. Konami, goodbye forever. So yeah, I will talk more about Tam Nakano with this, but what happened afterwards, once all pleasantries between both sides was over, you saw there was a moment where Tam looks at Sayuri Anu, Natsupo, and Yuta Mizumori questioning, what the hell? This was something that she went out of her way, made a decision without thinking. But I'll explain more about this during the development sections of our news updates, so we'll get to that. Now, our next match is the Future of Stardom Championship. For those who don't know this belt, clearly this is a belt for those who have the least experience. There's two ways you qualify for this belt. The first one, you have to be under the age of 21. If you've been wrestling since you were a teenager, then you qualify. However, if you're above the age of 21 and you've been wrestling for 3 years, then you qualify for it. Now, this match features Hina and Miyu Imasaki. Now, these two ladies are no strangers from each other. They were once members of Queen's Quest. However, Hina, those who know this, her older sister Hana had held this belt, and then her twin sister Rina. So Hina will try to win this belt, and that is like the moment where, of course, it's all or nothing. But you would probably guess this match was emotional because this was something. This entire event, it's all about the sisters themselves, Hana and Rina and Hina. And of course, I wasn't too sure how this was going to play out because so far we know that Imasaki has held this belt for a very short time. Do they drop the belt or move on to the next? And however, I was a bit surprised how both kicked out in certain moments, but it was Hina who walked away with the win when she applied the frog splash. So that kind of plays out pretty well, and she becomes our brand new future champion. And of course, Ami Sodi, as a member of God's Eye, was watching this. At the comment, she broke into tears. This was a belt that Hina has worked so hard to catch up to her sisters, and she finally did. I don't know what Rina and Hana were thinking because I know when Rina won the future belt, Hina and Hana cried at the moment. I'm sure both of them were extremely happy for them. But also there was a moment with Azumi, she even cried too, despite the fact that they trained together back during their Queen's Quest day. So I'm sure she was happy for it too. Now I don't know what in the post match, in the promo, what Hina and Hamasaki said, but I'm sure they were willing to put. But however, Hina did state it's something that she wanted to address people. Let me pull that up real quick if I can. Here it is. She did say that she announced that she accepted into the university and will wrestle full time. She will graduate from high school as a high school student to a university student. So basically, she's going to be still doing the whole thing. So yes, she's still young, guys. So that's what matters. But we'll see how things will roll. Now I don't know if she'll be able to break her sister, her twin sister's record. I think she has about maybe 15 consecutive wins. Rina has the longest one. First it was her Hanan, and now Rina. So we'll see. Our next match is the Goddesses of Stardom tag team belts. We have Crazy Star, with consistent of Neo Genesis members Suzuki and Meisera, taking on Wing Gori members of Stars Hanan and Saida. Now, how did this match came around? Those who know this, Neo Genesis won the unit league early this year, and now that we're making plays for championships, of course the tag team belts were amongst the goals. Now Wingori, as you know, they won these belts recently by early, I think was it late this last year, and it was a pretty good moment, how you probably would have imagined. Wingori, of course, were the winners of the Goddesses Tag League, and that's how it played out. However, you probably would have thought there was going to be some crazy moments. It did. But however, it was Hanan who picked up the win on Mai Seda, and just like that, it was over. Now we know there has been friction between both these ladies in the past, and I don't know what they said in the post match promo, but there was a moment where someone commented saying that, of course, it's back to the drawing board for Crazy Stars. So we'll see. Our next match is the White Belt Championship. Rina, who's the challenger, making her first time play against Starlight Kid. These two ladies know each other, not to mention they were part of Oedo Tai. And if you guys saw Rina during her entrance, she came out representing Hana Kimura. Those who know this, Hana Kimura took her in when they formed Tokyo Cyber Squad. She's always been influenced by her in those moments where she wants to keep her spirit alive. And now she faces against Starlight Kid. And she's amongst the Hanan sisters, who just made a very bold play, immediately chased the belt after losing the future belt. So, but you can tell there was going to be some dirty tactics coming for Rina to ensure that this match will go in her favor. But unfortunately, it did not go according to plan. And of course, Starlight Kid was able to walk away with the win when she applied the Black Cat Leg Killer. And just like that, Rina had no choice but to tap. And of course, this match had a post-match promo. Don't know what Kid said to Rina, but I'm sure it'll be memorable. But however, this is what happened in the post-match comments that happened in the back of when after the match. Konami seems like she is enter herself as the next challenger. So this is going to be quite a challenge for Starlight Kid, because she knows how dirty Konami can be now. So we'll see what happens. So as of right now, we are officially done with Stardom. Let's do our last and final thing, and that is news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So this is what we have for today. Now let's begin with the upcoming events, starting with GCW. As you know, they will be in LA for the coldest winter on the 1st of March. They announced a very interesting scramble match, mostly the women. We have Mega Bane versus Dark Sheik versus Zeta Steel versus Vipers versus Sandra Moon versus, of course, San Diego native Sarah Zacher. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then the following day in Phoenix, for the Just Being Honest, they announced the Koger brothers, Acticus and Otis Koger, will take on Fuego del Sol and Sam Stacks. So that's going to be a brutal match. I'm not going to lie about that with the Koger brothers. More names has been added for the upcoming Canadian promotion Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling for their Mayhem event starting on the 14th through the 15th of March in Ontario. The next name they announced is, that's right, Kushida. So he will be part of that. Private Party are returning home to House of Glory, where they got their careers from. So yeah, that event will take place on the 15th of March, called City of Dreams. So hopefully I get a chance to see that, but we'll see. Now, for those who are going to Las Vegas for the WrestleMania week, or no, never mind. Anybody in the Las Vegas natives, you may have known that Ring of Honor will be there. So they have announced certain matches. We have Atlantis Jr., Titan, and Fuego. Not Fuego do Sol, just Fuego. Taking on Rugido, Volador Jr., and Barbaro Cavenario. And then, of course, we have Okumura versus Dark Panther. Now, it's been a while since I mentioned about NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. They'll have their upcoming event, Hard Times, that will take place on the 22nd of March. There's going to be a number one contendership for the NWA Women's World Title at NWA 77. And they have Kylie Page and Natalia Markova. Now, personally, I would love to see Natalia Markova. She has worked real hard to get there. And I feel that she deserves to become the women's champion. Now, Evolution has announced two events. They'll be 2 days apart from each other. The first one that will take place on the 21st of March. Here are the matches they announced: Chika versus Yu, Shinmei Saruga and Chi Chi. They take on Soy and Momoka Anazono. Then we have Dan Tamura versus Kengo Mashimo. Shuji Ishikawa and Suwama take on the astronauts Fuminori Abe and Takuya Nomura. And in the main event, we have Zones taking on Passions. That's right, Nana Takahashi. Then 2 days later, Evolution has announced more matches on that day. We have Chika taking on, coming from PPP Tokyo, Miyabi Ichika. Cherry versus Rina Amakura. Soy takes on Saki. El Hijo de Hatoyame versus Blackman Sori. Zones versus Yuta Yuzuki. And then finally, Shuji Shikawa and Suwama take on Masayuki Kono and Suji. Then, of course, we have the Las Vegas show for WrestleMania week with West Coast Pro with Vegas Vacation. They announced LJ Clearing and Man Like the Reese. So that's going to be interesting. And of course, finally, we have Kitsune Women's Wrestling. They're back. They just announced two back-to-back events in the month of June. The first one will be here in San Diego, which hopefully I get to go on June 7th. And then we have June 8th. They'll have, of course, will be in LA for the 888 show. Now, they haven't announced who will be participating in these two shows. Hopefully, I get a chance. I'm thinking about messaging, of course, a promoter about, you know, we'll see what happens. I'm going to try to do my best. Now, for our developments. Fightful Select reports a very interesting development coming in with WWE. They're saying that WWE employee morale is um, declining due to reduced benefits, limited pay increase, and heavier workload. Now, I don't know what that means, but it seems that things are becoming interesting down there. Hopefully, things will be worked out. Um, as you probably know, there's going to be a new faction form in NXT. This was reported by Wrestling Observer. They talked about, of course, Dion Lennox, Cutler James, a guy named Saquon Sugars, and Osiris Griffin. They're apparently what they're developing is that they're turning them as a new version of the Shield. So basically, yeah, if you saw the mask, they had like those skulls that we saw with the Shield back in the day. So that's exactly what's happening. We'll see how that rolls up. They made their debut back on Vengeance Day, so we'll see. Now, Mina Shitakawa has spoken about her dream opponent, and that is none other than the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Now, I don't know if Asuka will be able to wrestle with Mina in Japan in Stardom, because as you know, WWE will be are in alliance with Mighty Gold. But however, Asuka has her disdain pleasure against the Hat Man himself, um, Rossi Ogawa. But we'll see. And then finally, as you know, I mentioned about Tam Nakano. I say this one for last about her decision about the loser leave match against Kamitani. And this is what she had to say. Everyone, I'm sorry for making this decision on my own. I'm sorry for always being selfish. I'm sorry for being dragging you all along. But please believe in me. This is Tam's resolve. This is my love. Now, of course, she gave her reasons why she agreed to this and about why the reason Utami turned evil is because Utami as Shida left and completely went to Mighty Go. And this is what she had to say. In order for Kamitani to get back to normal, it wouldn't be best for her to lose, is to leave the company and go to her beloved Utami Ayashida. That's why I'll win and save Kamitani. So basically, the idea wasn't the fact that if she beat her again, this means Kamitani will go back to normal. No, she knows that the only way it's going to happen is with Utami Ayashida to go back to Ayashida. And this would she also says about, what was her intention behind this. And she says, I have reached a limit of my patience on yesterday's episode in Shidori no Richan and Fuji TV. She said for Stardom to spread the word about pro wrestling. I understood that she was on her own form of love, but no matter how you look at it, her way of doing things is wrong. I want to kick her out completely and not let her lay a hand on Stardom, Cosmic Angels, or Kurara. I thought this will be the only way to stop her from running amok. So basically, she felt this is the only way to stop it, and she made this impulsive. She even talked about Kamitani's dull tongue continuing to grow. Every day I wake up with that tongue wrapped around my neck. I nearly suffocate me. The momentum of that tongue is unstable. So the only way to escape the curse is to completely banish her. It's already grown to 300 meters. And then finally she says the possibility of losing the the loser leaves stardom match. And this is what she said. I think the person has a strong sense of responsibility to protect Stardom, and women's wrestling will be the winner. I have dedicated my life protecting this company. If they say that it's wrong, then everything I have done until now have been wrong. So if I lose, I will leave Stardom graciously. Now, someone made a comment about this, about her decision leaving, and I don't know what you guys would make of it. Someone said that if Kurara wins the Cinderella tournament, she could wish Tam Nakano back. I mean, the rule stated you can make any wish you want. Mostly has been the belt. So that most likely could happen, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. But anyway, we'll see how things will roll up. And this match will take place on the 3rd of March. So stay tuned for that. So for right now, we are done and let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, as you probably know, it will be Tuesday. We'll have NXT. I haven't decided what other events. I know Marvel has had a recent show as well, so hopefully I get the chance to see it and other things. So we'll see how things will roll up for me because A, I gotta take my sorry butt back to my regular day job, and this is my only day I have. And also the special, so just a friendly reminder: this Wednesday I will be in going to Oceanside to go for AEW Dynamite. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So I can't wait to see it. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.